Hello, and welcome to verse 9 of the Tao. Overfilled, the cupped hands drip. Better to stop pouring. One oversharpens the well-forged blade, and it won't last long. With gold and jade in the hall, the house isn't safe. Wealth and pride are the authors of error. When the work is completed, it's time to retire. That is the Tao of heaven. Overfilled, the cupped hands drip. So if you overdo something, it's wasteful. The cupped hands drip. So if you overfill, it's just going to overflow. I think that's actually then saying better to stop pouring. So there is a measure of you can only do so much, and then it makes more sense to stop. You can only work your muscles so hard when working out, and then it's best just to leave them alone. It's the law of diminishing returns. Once you pound so many bench presses, it makes more sense just to leave that shit. Let the muscles recover, comparing this to working out. One over sharpens the well-forged blade, and it won't last long. So again, you have something really useful, like a sharp blade, and if you over sharpen it, it won't last long. Because you're taking something that's very highly skilled, very highly tuned, this sharp blade, and then you're making it obsolete by over sharpening it. So again, this passage is speaking to the law of diminishing returns, which is, important, because you want to work hard, but you also want to work smart. So there only is at points so much you can do. The sharp blade over sharpens actually makes it last not as long. With gold and jade in the hall, the house isn't safer. So you take a house, which is somewhere where you can be safe and live and enjoy yourself. But at some point, if you continuously attempt to improve that house, it may in fact become less safe by adding gold and jade to the hall. So it's like you're making your house comfortable, you're continuously trying to improve it. So then you begin to say, I'm just going to add beautiful things like jade and gold, which I think is fine for the aesthetic pleasingness of gold and jade. But it isn't necessarily going to make that house safer. So a house adorned with gold and jade is not necessarily safer, though it may be beautiful. Because then you're like adorning yourself. You're like flaunting your wealth. So I think this passage is speaking to being content, being reserved in what you display. A cup overfilled, a knife over sharpened, now a house over adorned. It's not necessarily making it safer, because you're then attracting thieves. You're then showboating what you have. But I think it also is leaving that open, that it can make it more beautiful, and you can add these things to your home. But just know that it isn't necessarily adding safety to your home, which, if that is what your core belief is, having a safe home, it isn't necessarily enhancing that, but it could enhance other aspects of joy for you, such as just the pure appreciation of jade and gold. Wealth and pride are the authors of error. Wealth and pride are the authors of error. So wealth, such as having all this gold and jade in your home, and pride of just showing it off, of needing to show it off, are the authors of error. So I think actually he is speaking to the idea that showing off, being arrogant, the authors of error. So it's about going too far, I think, this passage. It's about taking something that is valuable, taking something that is useful, and taking it a little too far. Overfilling a cup, over sharpening a knife, now over adorning a home. These are starting to speak to wealth and pride. I have the fucking best home. Look at all the gold and jade I have. I have the fucking best knife. Look how sharp it is. Blah, blah, blah. Look how much water my hands can fucking hold. Now these are the authors of error. So be reserved, Lao Tzu says. When the work is completed, it's time to retire. When it's done, you're done. When you've got enough fucking water in your hands, retire. When you've done enough, when you hit your bench press, you can retire. It's, there is a time for rest. There is a time for being humble and not necessarily needing to show your wealth, your pride. It's time to retire when the work is completed. When you've done what you've done, there's only so much. You don't need to be that creepy corporate takeover guy and collect a fucking $100 billion and screw people out of their fucking pension funds, okay? Take a fucking chill pill. Relax, dude. You've got what you want. Like, come on. It's time to retire. Adorning yourself with wealth and gold is not necessary. Come on. It's like, Lao Tzu is really speaking to the excess here, the greed. It's powerful. That is the Tao of heaven. So if you're going to be with the Tao, if you're going to be sage, you have to fucking listen to these things. You have to understand what is being told to you. You don't, it's fine. And I actually think he's saying it's fine to adorn your hall with gold and jade. But he's telling you it's not necessarily going to make it safer. And so he's bringing that back to your home is a place of safety. And you need to remember that. Because the one who adorns himself left, right, and center with fucking gold and jade and everything in his hall to show his guests, remember you aren't necessarily safer. So you creepy fucking banksters who fucked everybody out of their damn pensions and the housing bubble that burst, just remember, motherfuckers, you guys are not above it all. That is the Tao of heaven speaking. So are you going to be you're just a human being, dude. Don't make yourself, you got some sharp ass knife, but you're fucking, damn, the well-forged, one over sharpens the well-forged blade. That shit is not going to last long. Up in your fucking towers. Creepy. $100 billion creeping around in your bank account. Come on, man. That is the Tao of heaven. This is the Tao of heaven speaking. Cool. All right. Well, that's verse 9. Hope you enjoyed it. I think this was powerful. Everybody make sure to like, subscribe, fire some comments down there. And I hope you guys enjoyed the interviews that I put out, and there's going to be more to come. Tune in next time for verse 10 of the Tao. Thanks for watching, and peace out.